Welcome to the Kind of Funny Gamescast for Monday, July 7th, 2025. I'm your host, Andy Cortez, and I'm joined by the Midwest McTwist, Blessing Jr.
Whoa, I like that. Good day, Andy.
Good to see you, Blessing.
I was
joy on
expecting
his face.
Oh, man. Because I've been McTwisting it up this weekend. I've been doing so many McTwists, so many 900s.
Hell yeah.
What's the one
So
where you
many
just,
900s.
Oh, my God. The 900, and I fail them half the time. Like, fucking bailing left and right, and I still keep doing it.
And I'm like, that's a clear turn. You were fine there.
It's like I don't know where I'm going to end up in the turn is the
Yeah.
problem. Like, I go up,
that's
I do
so
the
funny.
900, I'm like, oh, fuck, I'm sideways, and it's bail.
There's a
every
couple of
single
those
time.
moves where I'm like, I don't know. I still can't get the grasp of, am I going to be okay when I land?
That's hilarious.
What, like, it's usually
I mean,
grabs.
R2 is your best friend.
It's usually the grabs, though. Like,
Yeah.
when I'm doing grabs in certain ways with the board, it's like,
Oh, yeah.
my legs are in such a weird position
Oh,
where I'm
yeah.
like,
The Madonna,
am I coming
dude.
down straight? I don't know.
Madonna will mess you up.
I don't know
The
if I'm gonna-
Benihana. I'm like, I don't know how I'm going to come
I
down
don't know
with
if
this
I'm going to
thing.
be all right. I'm also joined by the Bay Area board slider, Tim Geddes.
I love it. What little nicknames,
Welcome
unique
into-
nicknames. What a day to be alive,
Wow.
boys.
It's going to be a good one today.
It
I'm
is.
excited.
Before we get into it, absolutely not the show to say this, but I have to say it somewhere because it happened to me this weekend. K-pop Demon Hunters.
Oh,
Oh,
I saw a
on
thread
Netflix.
talking about you would like this.
You too. Required viewing. You
Okay.
have to watch this fucking
Okay.
movie. It's from the production company Spider-Verse, right? Across the Spider-Verse. They did Mitchells and the Machines.
Right.
Oh,
you see that?
yeah, I love
Yeah,
that.
I
What a
enjoyed that one.
joy.
Yeah.
Same kind of thing, but this is fucking awesome. Anime is all fuck. Final Fantasy is all fuck. Full on K-pop musical. Full on.
I love
Like,
that.
I thought it was, maybe there's a song here or there. There's a song every 5 seconds.
I'm texting the
Dude,
group chat right now.
Banger after banger.
Is it getting you into K-pop, Timmy?
No, this feels like the nice level of like arms reach tourist. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Where
Where
you
it's
get
like,
to kind of experience it, appreciate it, and then like, all right, I'm gonna go back to my normal day
yeah,
to day.
I do fuck with the soundtrack though. It's super good, but like the fight scenes are insane. And like all of
Fight scenes.
dude,
Cool.
the Demon Hunters.
Oh,
Yeah.
shit. I guess I hadn't considered that.
It's
portion of
You're
it.
too hung up on the K-pop.
Yeah.
It's so good. It freaking rules. Like I was the slightest bit let down by F1. Top Gun Maverick, my favorite movie of all time. I was looking for that high. Didn't quite get it. Great movie, just didn't quite give me the like, oh, I'm obsessed with this. K-pop Demon Hunters.
Nice.
It's a slippery
Filled that
slope from
void.
here because this is how Alyssa got into K-pop. Was turning red.
Oh yeah. I mean,
Oh.
very
Whoa,
similar,
really?
similar
Oh, yeah.
things.
Yeah.
I think this is a lot better though. Different style, very different point, and all that.
Okay,
This
okay.
is a way. This is more of a. This is such a Tim movie. Take that for what you
I mean,
will.
I think it was last summer that I was obsessed with Le Seraphim. And I just kept on playing that one damn song. Because TikTok just kind of, takes over. It's just like, here's Le Seraphim
all you get.
nonstop.
Yeah,
and I
I
just
feel
kept
that.
on playing that one song. And it was, that was a great time. So I think I would enjoy it. I think I'd enjoy it. I'll tell you what I got really, really into the weekend. The Altars.
yeah.
Oh,
Okay.
nice.
That's
It's
so
cool.
my shit.
Yeah.
It's really enjoyable, really cool game, super great with, I mean, it's just so my shit with inventory management and crafting and making stuff, and then suddenly you got your clone back home being like, hey, should I work on this thing? And like, yeah, you know what? We were kind of antagonistic towards each other at the beginning, but now we're friends.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And yeah, you should work on that thing. I would love that.
I don't think I'd have it in me to beef with my clone. Because it's like, I know where you come from. You
Yeah.
know where I come from. We have like these shared, like, why are we beefing?
Right.
We're the same.
But I mean, the
But
whole
you're
concept,
different.
concept is that you're cloning yourself
Like from
at
a,
very formative moments in your life that clone took a different choice in life.
Man.
yeah.
So it's like, so that guy, you find out why he's such an asshole at first. It's like, oh, because you stood up to your dad and you didn't. Like your clone did, but you didn't. And you went off and you're dealing with sadness because you missed the death of your mom. But your clone was around for it because he chose to stay. It's like, whoa, that shit, man, it's an awesome game. I'm really,
Yeah.
really enjoying it. I played a bit more on my Steam Deck last night, having a good time with
I
it.
need to get back to it. I got real distracted by playing Donkey Kong Tropical Freeze.
Yeah.
Which I'm going to talk about, I think, later this week. I think tomorrow, actually, I'm going to talk about it. And then also playing Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 3+4. But while we're doing the show and tell segment, I, over the weekend, watched The Bear season 4, whatever the
all of
most
it.
recent.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Finished the last season of The Bear, which I'm still unclear on whether or not it's supposed to be the finale season or not.
I think they
Tim
confirmed the
Shaken
fifth one
another
already.
season next
Really?
year.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Interesting. I really love the season of The Bear. So,
Same.
season 3, like, kind of took me out of it a little bit. Like, I still can't pinpoint what it was. I think there was something about, like,
It veered too far from the sun. I keep saying this.
Yeah.
It was the season 3 of The Bear.
It veered
wasn't
too
bad.
far from the sun.
That's what happened. Andy. That's what happens. Do you know how to make Chicago beef? You know what I mean?
Yeah, okay.
Just think about it,
Okay,
okay?
okay.
Putting words together. The premiere of season 3 just set the wrong tone. Way too artsy. It felt like,
yeah.
we're doing something different because the doing something different episodes are our favorites, right? They went too far. They did 2 different. This was
I
like,
feel that.
and I just feel like it kind of set the tone of like, I'm not here for this. And then they just kept trying and like it wasn't bad at all. But I just feel like, for me personally, that's what ruined it. But yeah, season 4 so far, I'm not fully done yet, but a lot better.
There's something about it where like at every turn it subverted where I thought it was gonna go in like ways that surprised and delighted me, right? Where I'm just like, oh man, I totally thought y'all were gonna do this and they ended up not. And then also like I feel these characters, man. There's something about when a show depicts a family so well and so strongly, especially a dysfunctional family, where it's like you see how they don't get along, but you understand why they're still together.
Oh yeah,
that shit hits, man.
That shit hits.
I hope that we haven't crossed that threshold because I think maybe season 3 may have made it seem like to an outsider like myself that when more bear stuff gets announced, the internet goes, enough, dude, fucking end it, you know?
It's definitely
But I'm hoping that 4 has kind of maybe turned it around and people are...
I would have been okay with
back in
this
their good
being,
graces.
being the last, but also the last episode kind of left on a note where I was like, I don't know if I'm satisfied. So knowing that there's another season, I'm like, okay, sure.
I would want next season to be the last because, yeah, where it ends the season, Bless, like I want to see at least a little bit of what that whole group looks like after this big decision at the end of the season.
Now, the show takes place in Chicago. Has there ever been a Chicago level in a Tony Hawk game?
There has.
Let's talk about it.
Let's talk about it. Because we're an 11-person business all about live talk shows. KFGD was... I heard Greg just swearing up a storm talking about Xbox. Talking about capitalism.
Oh, yeah.
Talking about shareholders.
I think we both got up in arms a little bit.
Yeah.
Both
Got a little
ranchy.
heated. And I get it. I totally understand. But this is the Kind of Funny Gamescast. Each and every weekday, we get together to talk about the biggest reviews, previews, and topics in video games live on YouTube, Twitch, and podcast services around the globe. If you love what we do, support us with a Kind of Funny membership on Patreon, YouTube, Spotify, or Apple Podcasts to get all of our shows ad-free, watch us record them live, and get a daily exclusive show. For a chance to be part of the show, submit your thoughts and opinions as YouTube Super Chats as we go. I expect to see a lot of YouTube Super Chats about the soundtrack and about clothing and customization and clothing brands.
Get in there. Please ask me questions.
Get in
I
there.
have so many answers.
I looked it up online. It says there's a Chicago level in 4.
Yeah.
Why have I not seen
I thought that's what you were joking about.
No,
we'll talk about it.
It was like the perfect segue.
I thought it was a clear, perfect segue.
Yeah.
I was very surprised.
I
Tony
wouldn't
Hawk
have
1.
admitted that. I would have just taken ownership over that, Bless.
Just real quick, just so
Why
you know.
can't I find the Chicago level?
Tony Hawk 1 had a Chicago level. The first tournament level was in Chicago, but
yeah.
a proper Chicago level was in Tony Hawk 4. However, it's not in the remake because it wasn't actually a Tony Hawk 4 level. It was a Matt Hoffman's Pro BMX 2 level that was like a secret level in Tony Hawk.
Matt Hoffman.
This
Matthew.
man has the knowledge. That's crazy.
Dude.
That's wild.
When
That
I was
a
all
fun
about
fact.
that B3 blades, bikes, and boards
Okay.
on ESPN, learn about Matt Hoffman, I was like,
man,
man, I'm
dude.
so into this. Dude. I can't skateboard worth a lick, but I'm
Yeah.
really, really into this world. Sort of like Sonic earlier. I was telling you.
Yeah.
I enjoy the vibe of Sonic,
Yeah.
just don't want to play the games, you know?
I was thinking with skateboarding. We'll talk about it when
Yeah,
we
we'll talk about it
this
later.
game.
After this, you are going to get Jurassic World Rebirth in review.
I thought it wasn't possible to not be good and to be as bad as all of you who saw it a week before I did said. Do I still think that? You'll have to wait.
You have to wait and
to
see.
find out.
And after that, the Gooning continues in Dune Awakening with me and Nick. We're
Dune
going
and
to be
Gooning?
back in Arrakis. We're going to be back. Nick moved into my house last night.
I heard you paid his rent. He paid your rent.
He paid my taxes.
He paid your taxes.
Yeah, he went to Arakeen and was like, "Oh, I just paid my taxes." He goes, "Oh, there's another charge here for like $6,000." And we're like, "Oh, that's funny. You got charged twice." And then I went to go and I was like, "It says I owe nothing." And he goes, "Oh, I probably paid your taxes." It was a good time. A good time. So he moved in with me last night. We're still waiting on Snowbike Mike to maybe move in, but it seems like he's uninstalled already. He may have given up. If you're kind of
Really?
yeah, if you're kind of funny, yeah, he gets in his
liked it.
fifis. He gets in his fifis. If you're kind of funny, remember today's the day that Greg sees Superman. Find out what the excitement levels are in today's Greg Way. Thank you to our Patreon producers, Delaney, the Psalm Twining, Carl Jacobs, and Omega Buster. Today we're brought to you by Shady Rays, but we'll tell you all about that later. For now, let's start with topic of the show. Tony Hawk Pro Skater 3 and 4. Antonio Hawk is back, Tim. And let me just read a quick little wiki something, even though everybody knows what this is. But Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 3 and 4 is an upcoming skateboarding video game developed by Iron Galaxy and published by Activision. Similar to Vicarious Vision's predecessor, Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 1 and 2, it is a remake of Pro Skater 3 and 4, both from 2001 and 2002, with back to back. I didn't know they were pumping them out like that. I didn't realize that.
1, 2, 3, 4.
You know what I realized recently?
6.
What I realized recently.
They were like
They really were
annualized,
annualized all the way through American Wasteland. That's crazy.
You know how we always do Deep Impact, Armageddon, Volcano, Dante's
Geostorm
Peak.
podcast.
Yeah, of course that. Yeah. And it's always like these two movies that came out at the same time.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Like movies that just kind of like right back to back, right?
Friends with Benefits and
Oh, I know. Which
No
one was
Strings
the
Attached.
No strings. Yeah,
Which one was
that's
the
the
Justin
one.
Timberlake and Mila Kunis
That's a
one?
great question. It's one of the two, isn't it?
I'm gonna say
No
No
Strings
Strings
Attached.
Attached. Yeah.
I was thinking recently about the movie Powder. This guy has magical powers, bald white guy. He's like his whole skin's just like powder white.
Okay.
And he like bends a spoon in one of the trailers. It was like, whoa, it freaked me out as a kid. And I was like, I always thought it was, we don't talk enough about how Powder and Michael, the movie where John Travolta was an angel.
Insane cast in this movie.
Oh no.
Jeff Goldblum was in this thing.
Oh, nice.
Sean Flannery plays Powder.
Yeah. It's a fascinating movie. So it was that and Michael where John Travolta came to Earth, and chat was like, no, Andy, you're thinking of Phenomenon, where John Travolta had like magical powers.
You've never sounded more like Nick than right now.
And these were all around in the same era. And then I looked at the years. Powder came out in 1995. And in 1996, John Travolta was in Michael, where he starred an angel who came to Earth, and he also starred in Phenomenon in 1996.
No way.
So John Travolta, you can't be putting out two movies like that.
No.
That's too close. So Tony Hawk came out, been annualized, which is pretty surprising. The game is scheduled to be released on Switch and Switch 2, PS4, PS5, Windows, Xbox, and the Xbox One and the Series X and S consoles on July 11th. However, you can get the game early on July 8th if you pre-order the Digital Deluxe or Collector's Edition. They're doing early access.
Tomorrow. Full week early access.
Fascinating.
The Xbox thing.
We've all played some of this.
Yeah.
Tim, you have played by far the most of this.
Oh, yes.
Bless, do you want to let me know your thoughts first and how much time you have in Tony Hawk 3 and 4?
Yeah, I played according to my Steam Deck. I believe I played about 6 hours, which has been enough for me to, I believe, unlock every level, unless I'm like missing some hidden levels or something. But essentially, I've gone through the career modes on both THP 3 or Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 4.
Okay.
Yeah.
Damn, you're so much better than me.
Oh, dude,
I'm like 5 hours in and like was trying to do the completionist thing, and I'm just like so bad at the game, and I just don't have that muscle memory. But man, the waves of nostalgia just hit me. Of, like, you go to exactly where you were in that place in time of I was at my cousin's house playing, like it's so wild how nostalgic this franchise is.
What I realized as I was playing, because I was like, man, am I worse at this game? Like, why is it so hard to get some of these goals? And then like I had a flashback to being a kid and just using every cheat code under the sun. I was
funny.
like, as a kid, I was using anti-gravity. I was using unlimited balance on the rail, unlimited balance on the fucking manual tricks and all that shit.
They're just game modes now.
Yeah, like if you go
game
in the
mods, you go in, you can do all that stuff.
If you put on settings, you can just check mark them. No code required.
Tim, how much time do you have in Tony Hawk 3 and 4? Because you are the one to talk Hawk.
I am the one to talk Hawk. That's what they say about me. I'm about 20 hours into this. Obviously, it's become my obsession. We all knew that was going to be the case. I have done the majority of things. I'm at a point right now that there are a handful of goals that I haven't done because I've tried. I just can't figure out their new goals. Don't know what to do. So I'm going to need to wait for some type of, like, someone to tell me what's going on with, like, I think 3 that I have left. Just finding things or whatever. Or I'm just going to keep skating around until I eventually find it because I'm having so much damn fun doing that. The score is an interesting conversation because I do want to start there. What would I give Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 3+4 on the kind of funny scale? I got to start by saying Tony Hawk's 1+2 remake that came out a couple years ago, that this is heavily based on. Different developer here. We have Iron Galaxy now. We had Vicarious Visions before. But it is essentially using the exact same style, assets, engine, all of that, which is why this game runs as great as it does, looks as great as it does, and is available on literally every system known to man. Like, it's kind of wild how many places it's available. I played it on PC, which was not ideal for me. Obviously, Tony Hawk and PlayStation go hand in hand. Still got to use my DualSense. Some of the haptics and things weren't always what they're supposed to be because, using different controllers on different systems and all of that. But all that being said, Tony Hawk's 1 and 2 remake is debatably my favorite game of all time. When I really stop and think back to what game do I enjoy, am I going to enjoy for the rest of time? Obviously, there's the Smash Brothers and a ton of different Mario games. But the Tony Hawk franchise, when it is the full moveset that I'm looking for and I'm just in the zone, it's the only game I would say I'm actually good at to any extent. And the full moveset to me is Tony Hawk 4. Every game would add something. Tony Hawk 2 added the manual. Tony Hawk 3 added the revert. Tony Hawk 4 added the spine transfers and kind of balancing out when you're in the air so you can land better, or even just like go up a pipe and then balance out so you can land on a grind better and go from there. To me, that is like the moveset totally fulfilled, where it's actually additive to the combos. Once you get to Thug, get off the board and all that stuff, great for exploring, great for a different style of game, but in terms of the arcadey feel of what Tony Hawk is, 4 was the peak. 1 and 2 remake used that engine and let you do all that stuff. And because of that, it is one of my favorite games of all time. So looking at this, Tony Hawk 3 and 4, 2 of the highest rated games of all time. Tony Hawk 3 sitting at the number 3rd highest Metacritic ever at a 97. Tony Hawk 4 at a 94. So yeah, a remake of those 2 games, there's a lot of expectations. And I think for the most part, they really pulled it off. I'm torn here because on one hand, this is easily a 9. To me, this game is something I'm going to be playing for the rest of time. There's so much great quality of life stuff they've done. The levels are just as fun. The music's just as good. Like, all of it is exactly what I want it to be. The 3 new levels feel like old levels, and I mean that in the most complimentary way possible. I can't believe how naturally they fit in with the style. Absolutely love that stuff. But part of me is just being pulled towards even giving it an 8 because there's a lot of stuff missing. There's a lot of stuff that I question, like, why would they do that? Or I wish they would just spend the extra money to license this song or this outfit in the game or this shoe brand or things like that. There's just a lot of times I'm questioning why they make this decision. And a lot of it I can understand why. It's money, it's time.
You're like, I don't want to rock Adidas.
I really don't. So there's a lot of things like that. And I just feel like there are enough weird omissions and enough things where I'm like, I'm not exactly sure what I'm supposed to be doing right now with some of the goals, no matter how well I know these games. And I was just like, some of the creativity was a little lacking for me. So I think I'm going to settle on an 8.5. It is between the 8 and the 9 for me.
You can do that.
Yeah, we can do that. That's what we're allowed to do here. But I do think that personally, despite loving this game, it's not perfect. I do think there's definitely little tiny room for improvement here and there. But 8.5 from me.
Lovely. Well, I want to dive deeper in after a word from our sponsors.
This episode is brought to you by Shady Rays. Get ready for the season ahead with quality shades built to last. Our friends at Shady Rays have you covered with premium polarized shades that won't break the bank. Shady Rays is an independent sunglasses company offering a world-class product rated 5 stars by over 300,000 people. They have hundreds of options to choose from, so you're bound to find the perfect pair to match your style. If you don't love your shades, exchange them for a new pair or simply return worry-free within 30 days. There's no risk when you shop. Their team are always there to have your back with personal and fast support. Y'all know I've been outside a lot playing Pokemon Go, and it's such a great experience wearing Shady Rays when I'm out and about looking dope. Exclusively for you, Shady Rays is giving out their best deal. Head to shadyrays.com and use code FUNNY for 35% off polarized sunglasses. Try for yourself the shades rated 5 stars by over 300,000 people. Again, go to shadyrays.com, use code FUNNY to get 35% off polarized sunglasses.
Let's dive in. Let's take that dive down the half pipe, Tim. Because you mentioning getting off the board in Thug would have been great for one of the stat points on the Suburbia rooftop. God, what a pain in the
fucking
ass.
Suburbia.
That fucking map.
Fucking Suburbia. Don't get me started about
I
Suburbia.
hate Suburbia. Dude. How are you gonna have a goddamn little cul-de-sac with just two little baby rams, and put something in there.
Destroy
you know
all
what
the
I mean?
pumpkins. Yo, fuck these pumpkins.
Get these pumpkins out of my
Pumpkins out of
face.
here. Jesus.
So I'd like to maybe start off with Bless and ask you, what character did you start to main? What did you create a character?
Ooh.
What, were you doing all the customization? Favorite levels, that sort of thing.
Ooh, okay. I first start off with Tony Hawk because I'm basic. You know what I mean? You give me a Mario sports game, I'm gonna play as Mario. That's I want the person that's best all around. I don't want any weaknesses. That's how I think about it, right? No weaknesses. And for me, Tony Hawk is the man with no weaknesses to him.
Except for, street, but, no weaknesses.
He's my Mario. I don't know. So I did Tony Hawk Pro Skater 3. I was gonna say with Mario, with Tony Hawk. Also, I want to preface like my history a little bit, right? Because like this is my first time playing Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 4. I grew up, I played like a little bit of 1. I played a lot of bit of 2. I played a whole lot of bit of 3. 3 was like my favorite up until I eventually played Thug 2. And then I spent like, I just like, once I got to Thug 2, I was like, oh, this is my thing. And I know it's like, there's a conversation to be had because I think 3 is obviously way more true to what Tony Hawk is because it is the arcadey thing. It is 2 minutes. It is, you're not getting off your board. It is more about the execution, all that stuff. I fuck with the vibe of Tony Hawk in general so heavy, man in the games, right? I like the edgy nature of it. I liked in Thug 2 hanging out with like the Jackass crew and like these dumb storylines and like doing dumb shit. My favorite objectives in Tony Hawk are things where it is like, all right, free the bull, or like, do like fucking bother somebody, or like dunk somebody in the water, or like one of the things that I missed in this game,
dump the snow on the bully.
Dump the snow on the bully. One of the things I missed in this game, even though it's not even an objective in the original, but in Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 3, in the Canada level, there's a guy who's like pissing off, or like literally pissing.
He's still there.
Is he still there?
Yeah.
No way. I've like tried to find him multiple times.
Yeah, he's like when you first start the level, like you just go straight to the left. I'm pretty sure he's there.
And, like, is he on like the ramp that's at the end of the?
Yeah.
I've like gone there like 2 or 3 times. I've not seen him, so I'm gonna check again.
Yeah,
but
I could be wrong. But.
Yeah, like that was one of my favorite things in the Canada level. Tony Hawk is like telling my friends like, "Yo, you see that guy pissing?" Like I fuck with that shit. I don't know, like there's something that I think just brings me back to, I guess, my childhood and like watching like bits of Jackass, or like feeling like I'm part of like the skater culture, even though I'm just playing a fucking video game. And so I say all that to say, right, that like I'm coming into this playing 3 and like knowing 3 like the back of my hand and absolutely loving it, and then hopping into the 4 levels and playing it like it's a brand new campaign for myself. And so, played as Tony Hawk during 3, switched to a custom skater for 4, and just played with a custom skater. That way I could like mess around with the customization options and then also feel more ownership over how I'm allocating my stat points and stuff. Customization options I thought were fine. I wasn't like blown away or anything, but like I got a character to look as close to me as possible. I was shocked I couldn't find any options for glasses or like facial accessories aside from like hats and stuff, which is maybe the first time outside of like fantasy games where it's like, oh, I can't wear glasses. Like, this is kind of weird.
Yeah, you're gonna break them if you skate.
I mean, fair, but also I want to look like me. I think like Thug 2, I booted up last night. Like, I'm pretty sure that has glasses I can put on my character.
How'd you boot that up?
Don't worry about it. Allegedly booted up. But yeah, did that answer all your questions?
He says Tony said no nerds.
Tony was like, put Bam in, but like keep the nerds out of this bitch. Andy, what about you?
I started as was doing a couple levels because I didn't think I wasn't really thinking I was going to get into this a whole lot. Like I thought, all right, I have a code, I'll play an hour maybe just to kind of, grease the wheels, fly close to the sun. and then I just kind of kept on going. And I think that's the magic of these Tony Hawk arcade games is it's not only the nostalgia that's pulling me back, but it is the addictive cycle. It's that, it's a really good, solid game design cycle of if you don't, you missed that last letter in Skate, got to go back and get it. And there's something so satisfying about checking everything off of that list, and it feels awesome to do so, and you feel yourself getting better, and then you see how the levels change, and you go, oh shit, wow, this was like a really cool thing to do back in the day. Like that's an awesome little change for this in that Suburbia level to have that little. I remember that really scary axe murder. I was always kind of freaked out by the Suburbia level as a kid, but going on and then doing the Rio tournament, and I don't know, it's got such a great loop, and it's no wonder why they are so highly rated.
Can I say this is the, I think, first time that I've truly appreciated the objective design of Tony Hawk, like the Pro Skater series specifically, where I think one of the reasons as a kid why I took to Thug 2 specifically is like it just felt like you're in an open level and like, you know, no restrictions, talk to whoever, do all this goofy shit, right? And I enjoyed it for that. Playing Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 3+4 this time around and like really kind of like paying attention to the structure of, all right, like I'm going for the sixth score. And so like I'm like rerunning this level until I get it. But as I'm doing that, I am seeing all these things along the way and being like, oh wait, the skate letters, I think I know the route to like get all the skate levels. Yeah, it's like, and like, you know, getting that and then also on the way to doing that, seeing some other objective and how they balance out really well. Hey, we have a handful in every level, a handful of like these collectible things, but then like a handful of these unique things that like you're going to have to either stumble across or like kind of learn the level a bit. I was really impressed this time around, especially in Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 4, where I was like, oh shit, like I had to like think about how you laid out this level for me so I can like get here and then get up down here and then do all that within a 2-minute run.
Seeing it with a new lens, like seeing the deliberate choices, it's so sharp. Like I don't know, it's just such a solid fucking
Very
game.
smartly made game.
Yeah, and so I ended up going with, I forget what skater, like I think she was from Brazil, and then I was like, no, I'm gonna create my own dude. And you know, the mustache and the beard not necessarily connected, but kind of disconnected. It was enough for me to be okay with it. But yeah, the character creator, it's fine, nothing special. You have a choice of around 25 faces to choose from, and then you can kind of like pick skin color from there and go with the hair. And but customizing the board was fun, and I kind of remembered the fun and joy in there.
Yeah. I want to talk about the customization a little bit because I'm very let down. And I was let down in 1 and 2 Remake as well. But the Tony Hawk games were some of the earliest games to feature create anything. And they really went overboard as the franchise went on of create a character, create a deck, create a goal, create a part, create all that stuff. And a lot of that is still here and very, very fleshed out. The creative park specifically, I think, seems like a step up from 1 and 2 Remake. But the Create a Skater, you're similarly limited to the way you were last time, but I feel like they have a lot less brands for clothing. There's like no Nike stuff at all this time. And
there was in 1 and 2 Remake?
There was.
Oh shit, okay.
And there's just like a couple like bizarre omissions, like things like glasses. Like how is that not there? Like it just feels like there's entire verticals of options that I would expect. And it kind of just feels that the characters aren't ever going to be that unique from each other. Like it's all just variations of a theme, which I understand like these games can be that way, but we've seen it before. They're not. Like you're able to do so many different things in the earlier games customization. And like there's little things like the lack of jackets in this game is crazy to me. Like how is there not a bomber jacket in a Tony Hawk Pro Skater game?
Yeah, that is kind of nuts.
And there was in 1 and 2.
Gave myself a purple hoodie with the monster logo in front.
There's a couple things on my. Oh, Andy said he's got his outfits. But even with the decks, there's a ton of decks, which is awesome, and a ton of secret stuff. But the secret stuff feels like they over-indexed on effects, where it's like, all right, like your deck's glowing now, your deck's shiny now, your deck's gooey now.
Your glider looks funny when you're falling in Fortnite or whatever. Yeah, it's like the little like sparkling star effects or whatever.
And I feel like I would have definitely preferred more variation in terms of like even just colors or in terms of like what you can customize. Like it feels like a step back in a lot of ways, which is a bummer for me as somebody that like took a picture of my damn face and used the network adapter to get it into Tony Hawk 4 originally, you know?
Yeah, I would have preferred some face sliders. Just, I mean, it definitely isn't as limited as some other titles I've seen recently, but it was kind of a bummer. I wasn't like super stoked on it.
Yeah, it feels limited for Tony Hawk because if I booted up Thug 2 right now, allegedly, like I feel like there's more customization options in like the classic Tony Hawk games that I'm seeing in this game.
Yeah, especially with the fact that you can have like your skater be the dude in 3 and 4, and like that's a lot of game time to be playing as your special character that should be you or should be whoever you want to be represented by. Like it's kind of a bummer that it was as limited as it was, but. When Tim said he played 20 hours, this again, how bad I am at the game, with Blessing saying he played 5 and like unlocked everything. Tim saying that he played 20, I was like, oh, so he's maybe a little bit more than halfway, but that's just on my math because of how so bad funny. I am at the game.
Well, I mean, actually,
because I just got to the skater, or I unlocked Skater Island, but I was just doing airport.
Okay, cool.
Are you like,
yeah,
oh, you're
just
doing
pretty
everything?
shit. Yeah. I'm like trying to do everything.
Oh, okay.
I mean, it's so funny because I mean, like Bless was saying, Tony Hawk 3 was like the fucking game. Like I played
Yeah.
that so much. I mean, to get the unlockable characters, which was always such a huge thing in those early games. Like Tony Hawk 3 had Darth Maul and
Was Wolverine in 3?
and Wolverine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Officer Dick.
Django Fett, I think. Yeah, Django Fett. Maybe that was 4.
They got Django?
Yeah, dude, it was
Damn.
crazy. Anyways, to get those characters, you had to beat the game with every skater. And so you would replay the career mode of 3 over and over and over. And like I remember getting it down to I could beat the entire game in 54 minutes. I don't think that's impressive as like a speedrun thing, but
Sure.
I was doing that. I remember after school every day, I'd get home and be like, I'm gonna play through one. It's gonna take me about an hour. So yeah, I know that shit just so well. So even though, like I was done with the Tony Hawk 3 thing in like one very small sitting. You know what I mean?
Fucking
But
gamer.
it's so cool to see what they've done because like okay, you haven't played 4, and have you played 4 before?
Yes, I played up until Thug 1, but I definitely fell off around like probably 4 and Thug 1. Like I'd say 1 and 2 are the ones that I put hundreds of hours into.
So 4 was the first one to kind of break the formula of how the game is played. So it was open. There was no more 2-minute timer. And it would be in each level kind of felt a bit more like an open zone where you'd skate up to a NPC and they'd tell you, hey, my cat's stuck in a tree, go help me. Or like, there's combo letters, get the combo, get the skate, get all that stuff. So there's pros and cons with that. It allowed for some goals to be a little bit more extended and not have to fit into being able to do that and other goals within 2 minutes. So I feel like because the 2-minute timer, like speedruns are based around getting all the goals in 2 minutes, right? In one run. So that kind of limits how advanced the goals can be. 4, because it didn't have to care about that, allowed some of the goals to be like multi-layered, like do this story beat, which then causes this thing, which allows you to jump over that. And like, it'd be like a lot more in depth and just a lot more stuff. However, it also resulted in a lot of them just kind of being filler and a lot of them not being that fun over time. And replaying 4 to me over the years doesn't have the same kind of like quality hit as I would think. But the solution for this game is to just get rid of that entirely. Like they now have Tony Hawk 4 functioning and structured like Tony Hawk 3.
Yeah.
So it's just like the small little challenges in a 2-minute timer. You can change the 2 minutes to be pretty much however long you want if you just want to just have fun and not be worried about all that stuff. And I think it works. I feel like it doesn't really make 4 a worse game in any way. And another thing is once you beat the game 3 and once you beat 4, like all the first set of goals, you get pro goals. So each level then has 5 more goals that are
Pro goals.
pro goals, yeah, which are a lot harder. That's where combo comes. And then a fun thing of combo is it's skate, but it's COMBO.
Okay.
And you have to get them all in one combo, right? A lot of fun. And it kind of allows you to really learn fun lines in the different levels because 4 now functions like 3. They're adding the pro goals. We're now getting combo in 3 for the first time. So we're getting
that's
like some
cool.
of the 4 goals in 3. So even though by far not every goal in 4 is in this game, because I think there was like 190 goals or something in the original 4. A lot of them are the ones that matter are for the most part, I would say. And 3 now gets a lot of the best parts of 4. So I think there's a very satisfying package in terms of content and goals in this game, but it clearly is not a remake of the original Tony Hawk 4. This is essentially think of it as Tony Hawk 3 with a whole bunch of new content and then a 4 level pack to 3 with some new levels as well that are bangers.
I didn't get to ask you, Tim. Did you? I mean, you mentioned your issues with character customization. Were you also a create a character, dude?
I always want to be like at the end of it, like that. I have my character with my full set of special moves that I like and all of that.
Are you customizing moveset? And,
definitely.
Okay.
Oh yeah. all
Anybody
that
try
stuff.
Create a Park?
Very briefly, just for the.
I didn't really.
Yeah,
achieve it.
I hopped into somebody else's Creator Park just to like see what you can do with it, and their level pissed me off. I was like, never design a game in your life.
Hate this level.
I hate this fucking level.
Anybody play on Steam Deck?
I did. Yeah, I played
All
mine.
of it.
So here's the thing is like I started playing it. I played like an hour on Steam Deck and then I was like, all right, let me switch over to my PC. And then like the cloud save wouldn't go over to my Steam on PC. And so I was just stuck playing the full thing on Steam Deck. So
Oh,
I played
okay.
I played the entire thing on Steam Deck. I will say, hurt my thumbs. awkward game to kind of play with like the Steam Deck controls. I wish I was able to play on like my DualSense controller or something.
Sorry, I just missed this. Were you saying that your saves weren't syncing?
Yeah.
Yeah, I had that problem too,
Okay.
which was a big bummer.
Which is weird because it like usually when that happens, because this happens often with review codes where the save sync isn't on, but it looked like it was on. Like here, it would tell you that like your save is synced, and like you can see the upload, and then it just wasn't there.
May
Yeah,
have just
I
been
had
on
that.
their side.
I had that same issue, which sucked because I essentially beat Tony Hawk 3 on the Steam Deck, and then when I went to play actually on my PC, it wasn't there, and I was like, fuck it. I started over on PC.
Gotcha.
So then I just did everything from then on my TV via PC.
I will say this. I know this is, you can, don't tell Greg Miller about this, but you can probably catalog this under PC gaming sort of thing. But like being in the first couple levels, Foundry in Canada especially, I was like, man, this game is like perfectly made. Not a dip, getting 150 frames. It looks awesome. I think it's Unreal Engine, but I think it's like 4 possibly still. I don't know if it's like Unreal Engine 5 that they're kind of working on.
Yeah, I don't think so. I mean, because again, this is still an Xbox One and PS4.
Yeah.
So.
So with that being said, then when I hop into the Rio and Suburbia and airport levels, I'm getting like crazy dips in frame rate, like real bad stuff. And I got to assume it's one of those things where it's like, oh, just, that one setting's fucked up. If you put that to low, it's perfectly fine or whatever. But I was having, good high frame rates and then just like, boom, massive like hitch.
On your Steam Deck or on your PC?
On PC.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, like a massive hitch that almost, looked like whenever you'd get crazy lag in a multiplayer game online or something. Like enough to where it was really, really, really bothersome. It wasn't just a minor thing that I'm nitpicking about. It was like, oh, this is like something's like fundamentally wrong here in the framework of what this setup is. And I know that the 50 series have had some issues with the NVIDIA, but like I have a 4090 and I've largely been problem free for a long time with a lot of these games. And for whatever reason, I was being hit with some crazy, crazy frame drops.
I was playing on a 3090, and I didn't have that experience at all. It was fucking insane. And again, I've been playing a lot of 1 and 2, and I've played 1 and 2 now on so many consoles, like Switch 1, which was locked at 30. And you definitely feel that in a game like this. I played it on PS4, played it on PS5 when we got the upgrades there, and then I've played a shit ton of it on PC as well. And seeing the frame rates, like obviously the locked 60 is awesome, but playing on PC and getting that like 120 oftentimes was like nuts as well.
You mentioning when you and I went to the Final Fantasy concert and we hung out at that cool arcade bar before, and you were mentioning how you've become addicted to the high frame rate life.
I hate it.
How you never thought it was an issue.
And it's because of Tony Hawk.
And
A
now
game that
the
I can
120
actually feel
hertz.
it.
Now you're seeing it, you're feeling it.
Sucks.
And so that was like the majority of your experience was like, oh shit, like you are hitting the right button inputs at the right time.
Absolutely. Yeah, no, I am so impressed with the quality of this game's performance. And people were asking in the chat about Switch 2. Unfortunately, we have not played the Switch 2 one yet. They only gave us PC codes so far. But I definitely want to play it on everything just to see how it runs. But I'm sure it's going to run great because like these games are freaking optimized, man.
Andy, earlier you asked about favorite level. Did you have one?
I mean, of the ones that I've experienced so far, I love the airport because of all of the grind opportunities. Like there's just it's just
grinding at the airport.
Dude, it's the people movers. It's all there's just so many opportunities to do there. But I don't know. There's talking about the nostalgia aspect of it. My brain just being time traveled and portaled back to 13-year-old Andy and being like, oh, feeling like I'm in this tournament right now.
Yeah.
And I had a killer run and fucking Bob Burnquist got
Bobby.
Dude, it's such a cool. I love the tournament levels probably the most. Like I just enjoy that competition and feeling like, oh, that's goddamn Michelangelo from Ninja Turtles.
He's here, baby.
He came in first place.
God,
what about
so
you,
funny.
Buzz?
Airport was like my OG like favorite level, and I also love Canada. But like I think this time around, hopping into it, maybe partly because it's so fresh to me, but also like living in San Francisco, the San Francisco level I fucking love too. Like
It's so good.
it's really cool. Yeah, like it's funny because I've never had it before where I'm playing a Tony Hawk game and I've I'm like either in or I've been to the place that I'm playing, because I played this living in Champaign, Illinois. There was never a Champaign level, so
Yeah.
like being in San Francisco and then playing the San Francisco level for the first time, being like, I feel like I recognize this area. Like that was a crazy feeling in a Tony Hawk game.
I love that so much. I mean,
Yeah.
like that. My entire life has been going places and being like, wait a minute, I know I've experienced this. Like
Yeah.
the balls in Los Angeles. When I saw those, I was like, oh my god, they're real. Like it's just so fun. But it is funny because 3 and 4 are like some of the most classic levels. Like I feel like that specifically, like 3 added the revert, which allows you to continue your combos from vert to street. And because of that, the levels were designed around it. Like combos were so much crazier in 3 on. Like the level cap of like how many millions you're getting. Like you could in any game get insane numbers, but like getting 1 million in Tony Hawk 1 was fucking insane. Tony Hawk 2 opened that up a little bit, where getting 1 million was like, you got to be good, but you easily could do it if you are good enough. Tony Hawk 3, it's like 10 millions. The like, oh yeah, trying to get like that's just how high we scaled, and it's because so much more combo opportunity, but the levels are just designed so much better for insane lines.
Tim, you getting 1 million?
Million?
You get 1 million score?
Oh, every run.
Damn, my bad. I didn't realize you were like that. Holy shit.
This whole conversation,
Whoa.
I'm like, all of us are getting that. Like, all of us are experiencing this. If I hit
Damn.
20K, I'm like, fuck.
Yeah, dude. Like recently, like I've like for me, I thought I opened my third eye when I started hitting like 400K, and I was like, dude, this is crazy. Like I'm doing combos off the
Fuck yeah,
specials
dude.
and shit. This guy's getting 1 million
That's
on a
so-
regular
that's
run.
So funny, man.
Damn,
let's
just
talk.
swinging it.
Let's talk music, because I noticed that I don't remember 1, 2, and 3 really sharing a whole lot of similarities in the soundtrack. But if like, are a lot of songs from just 1 and 2 in here as well?
Mm-mm.
No.
No songs repeated in the core games.
Fuck. I just think of like CKY is all through.
That was just 3.
And I think of the Ace of Spades.
Dude, I was gonna say Ace of Spades.
3.
I thought that was 2.
Are you
also.
shitting me? Like,
I could have
That's the theme
sworn
song.
that was
That's
2.
the intro song to 3.
I
yeah.
swear that's been like Tony Hawk 1. But there are new songs in here as well.
Yeah, so here's I mean, I'm happy to be telling you guys about this game, because I feel like we're getting into a lot of the fun conversations about this. Like something very special about Tony Hawk 1 and 2 remake, and now 3 and 4 remake, is it's not just taking the old game and making it prettier. There's a lot of love put into the culture side of it, because like you were saying, it's like you feel like you're part of skate culture, like playing this game. I love that all the skaters, or at least the majority of skaters that were in the old games, the Tony Hawks and Bob Burnquist and Bam Margera's and all of that, they're in it now, but they're the age they are now. Like, it's not like, oh, they're
really cool.
they're teenagers. It's like they are 50-year-old people, right? Or whatever they are, which is so fun, because then there's also all these new skaters that are the new generation. There's this girl that won the Olympics for skating when she was like 13. Like, and she's in this game, and like, there's just so much more representation of the current skaters. And just like the old games had the current skaters at the time choose the soundtrack, they do that now. So all the new songs are chosen by the new kids, which I just think is very, very like awesome to like really continue what makes Tony Hawk games special these days. So it's the nostalgia, but it's also like an understanding of, hey, we could do that again for another generation, you know? And I don't know that it'll ever hit exactly the same, but for skaters, I'm sure it's going to, right? Like, there's just so much love put into it. So talking about the soundtrack is interesting, because 1 and 2, they fucking nailed it. I think between Tony Hawk 1 and 2, there's 25 songs total. And because those were PlayStation 1, so it was a much more limited space. And 22 of them made the jump to the remake. Only 3 of them couldn't due to licensing issues.
The Beatles.
And
skating out there to Abbey Road.
then there was a additional about 25 songs, new songs added, and I loved the 1 and 2 soundtrack. Like, it was so damn good.
You mentioning the skaters getting older. I just had to Google Eric Costin, because I like, whenever I see him, I'm like, he looks like a cool dad. But I wasn't sure if he's dad. He is a dad, confirmed.
Hell yeah! Shout out to you, Eric
Shout out
Costin.
Eric Costin.
He was always my go-to. Yeah. But this game is, I love the soundtrack. It is, it reminds me a lot of what I loved about 1 and 2, of, hey, here's a bunch of new songs that feel like classics, that feel like the old Tony Hawk. And you can hate it if you want, just because it's different. But to me, I'm like, hey, I have new songs added to my Spotify that'll be here forever. Like, I'm really, really having a great time with it. I am shocked at how much they missed the mark, though, compared to the 1 and 2 remake. In terms of just bringing back the classics, there are so few original or Tony Hawk 3 and 4 songs in 3 and 4 remake. It's kind of shocking.
I just looked it up. Yeah, it's only 10 returning songs between both games.
Damn.
And those games had significantly larger soundtracks than 1 and 2. So that's kind of a letdown. There are some like fun caveats to that where a lot, in addition to that, to what Barrett just said, a lot of the bands whose songs are cut are in the game just with different songs.
Oh.
So like Iron Maiden had Number of the Beast in 4, which I freaking loved. And now it has 2 Minutes to Midnight or whatever it's called.
Sex Pistols has a different song.
Instead of Anarchy in the UK. Like, so there's a lot of that, which
fascinating.
I don't really know why they did that.
I mean, maybe this goes along with not having the Nike license. Maybe it was just like we made a lot of money back on 1 and 2 remake, and 3 and 4 is projected to be a little bit less, so let's spend less on those things, possibly.
I don't know. But so that's a bummer, but it doesn't get in my way because the soundtrack's great.
Yeah. I mean, I was kind of bummed out, though, that, when I brought up Turnstile the other week and Tim was like, oh, that's in the new game or in the new Tony Hawk. I was like, that sounds perfect because they are totally a band that should be in Tony Hawk. And it's like, it's an okay song. It's one of their older songs, but it's like, man, there's so many better options they could have had from newer albums.
There's like no more, like one of the most magical moments I've had playing a video game maybe ever is Kick Push coming on.
I know.
Yeah.
Like Kick Push coming on while playing
we're
this
here,
game.
baby.
I'm like, this is such a perfect vibe. It's such a perfect song, right? And I'm like, it's crazy experiencing two different intense feelings of nostalgia at the same time. Because I'm playing Tony Hawk while listening to Lupe Fiasco Kick Push.
When that
just
popped
feels
on,
right.
I wish that there was like an open road or an open roam, just like.
Yeah.
I guess you could turn the timer off maybe, but like, I don't know. It kind of feels like it was the equivalent to driving down the coast in Vice City with, some 80s song playing,
I mean, again, though, like that is proof to me that like, sure, there might be some reason. There's clearly reasons they couldn't get the things. They would have done it if they could have, right?
Yeah.
But Tony Hawk 1 and 2, like getting the nostalgia and style, but still being like new, they added a Tribe Called Quest, Can I Kick It? Which feels like that should have been in Tony Hawk to begin with, right?
Yeah.
And this one adding Kick Push, it's like, God, this just feels
absolutely
right.
nailed it. And like, for me,
Kendrick.
there's like
Brown.
a whole handful, like Collard Greens, which is also in GTA 5, which is funny. Like Steve Lacy, See You Girl, is in
Love
here.
Vince Staples.
Vince Staples, North is on here. Like they got like a good handful of really good songs. Like a lot of good variety too, right? Of like me hearing songs where I'm like, oh damn, like this is bringing it back to Tony Hawk, where I would not have heard the song if this game wasn't introducing it to me right now.
Chat makes a good point, and looking at the actual songs from returning bands that have different songs, I feel like some of these songs definitely don't have like the same level of notoriety as some of those original, and I imagine because of that are definitely probably cheaper to license, right? Like Sex Pistols, the song now is Holidays in the Sun, which probably is a bit in terms of trying to figure out cost analysis, right?
Yeah.
Probably just cheaper to do something different. Same but different.
Yeah, which is fun. Like there are a ton of bands, like obviously like you're talking about some of the more mainstream classic rock stuff, but there's a couple like the Toy Dolls is one of the punk bands that like I don't think you guys have ever heard of the Toy Dolls otherwise, right? Like I just know them from Tony Hawk. They have a new song, and I'm just like, because they had a song called Dig That Groove Baby in 4 that I loved. It was a weird song. And now this one, I forget the name of it, but it's like, it's giving me the vibe of like, oh my God, I'm having this nostalgia hit for something I've never actually heard before. And I do like learning new music, even from older artists. Like that's part of the joy of Tony Hawk.
I want to get to a couple of super chats. We have one from Alec Bobco. Thank you, Alec Bobco, for your $5 super chat. And asks, what advice would you give to a newcomer to the Tony Hawk Pro Skater franchise? Didn't play much when I was younger, aside from on the PS1 demo disc and THPS2 on Game Boy Advance.
Oh,
Love that game. Love that game so much. My advice would be to go into it and think of it as a 3D platformer. Like it is, you're in a level, they want you to explore every nook and cranny of that level. They put a bunch of fun things to collect. And
that's a great call.
Don't get overwhelmed too much by like being good or getting good at any of that stuff. Just skating around and getting the things is fun. There's a lot of satisfying just like reward in this game. Like the sound design is impeccable. The
really
visuals,
is.
all of it's so good. When you get your special meter up and the music like has that like reverb effect added to it. Like there's just a lot of fun here. So just skating around, I think, is step one. Like don't get overwhelmed because I think it's easy to get overwhelmed in all of the mechanics and like learning it all. I don't think there's any way for this game to teach you how to play it at a great level just because of how much is going on. The tutorial, though, tries its best. So I'd say play the tutorial, like learn the basics, but don't feel overwhelmed. And yeah, treat it more like a Banjo-Kazooie or a Mario 64 than a Skate for sure.
That's such a great call because it does. The feeling that I get from restarting a run here reminds me of restarting a run in Astrobot when I missed that one little thing at the end of the level. I'm like, shit, I should have gotten that. I got to start that again. And it's fun because it's just inherently satisfying to play.
I think the tip I'll give is like the first time I remember playing Tony Hawk was at a friend's house. They had it on a computer and it was a demo. It was for Tony Hawk Pro Skater 2 and you could only play that level.
Hanger.
And I fucking loved playing it because and there were no objectives. It was not career mode. It was just like a free skate thing that was available. So I'm just like grinding. I'm like trying out like doing the ollies and doing the flips and stuff. And like that for me was enough to just have a blast with it. And so like I think the thing I'd say is like go into free skate and don't even, if you're going into career and you're like frustrated trying to find the things or doing the tricks or whatever, like just go to free skate and just fuck around for a while.
I would say if you are playing this game for the very first time, just immediately go in to, I don't remember where it is in settings. It might be in game mods, but you can turn the timer to just an hour.
Oh yeah.
And I think that's the right play. Don't stress yourself out trying to get everything in 2 minutes. Like I think that is a fairly antiquated form of playing in a lot of ways, but I understand it's why they have it here and the goals are designed around it. But if you don't have the nostalgia and memory of playing it 20 years ago, I think it kind of gets in the way. Just like set it to an hour and then just like collect the things at your leisure.
Yeah.
Another super chat from Guitar Hero Arrow with a $5 super chat. Says, here's my birthday tax. Thank you guys for the hundreds upon hundreds of hours of entertainment up over the years. Happy birthday, Guitar Hero Arrow.
Happy birthday.
Let's see. Any final thoughts we want to get out there when it comes to like new stuff?
I mean, my final thoughts.
I played as the Doomslayer. That was cool.
The Doom music fits so well.
It's
like,
awesome.
I really think that it's bullshit that it's all like hidden behind the collector's edition stuff. But like they made sure it was worth it. Like you get multiple Doom decks, you get 2 Doom characters.
A lot of Doom decks.
The music is what goes the furthest for me. Yeah, Michelangelo's a Secret Skater. Secret Skaters are better than they were in Tony Hawk 1 and 2, but definitely not what they should have been.
Who were they 1 and 2?
No, there wasn't any like fun ones at all. Yeah, it was just like there was a skeleton like Neversoft guy and then Officer Dick. But there wasn't any like Michelangelo or anything like that. So
that was pretty neat. I enjoyed seeing Michelangelo there.
Yeah. But my biggest thing I want to say is like I just can't believe this game's real. We've been saying that for a long time of like from announcement to this game now being something that I'm playing. I am just so happy that in a world where video games are fucked and the industry is fucked, somehow good news can still happen and projects can be saved. Like Vicarious Visions died and this game still exists. Like this is such a insane, I would have never believed it. I feel like I'm in a different universe type thing because like how did everything play out that I'm playing 3 and 4 and it's this good? Barrett?
Sorry, I just because people keep asking about like Switch 2 performance and all that stuff. I did find one review that reviewed it on Switch 2, which is from NintendoWorldReport.com. Quote, while online on Switch 2 ran great in my experience, the same can't be said for overall stability. Visually, everything looks fine docked and on handheld, but the game crashed back to the console's home screen close to 10 times over my 20-plus hours of gameplay. I haven't played other versions to know if this is just a Switch 2 problem, but even if there's a decent chance these issues get resolved, as it stands as I write this, it's shaky right now. So
interesting. For me, it's always tough, like talking about stability stuff on Steam Deck because oftentimes, like a lot of reviews will say, "Don't review this on Steam Deck yet. We're not ready." So I don't want to make this like a definitive thing. But also, I did have crashes on my Steam Deck. But again, don't take that as gospel for like how it runs on PC overall.
People in the chat are asking how the trophy is. Guys, I'm just in such a bad place.
Yeah.
Why?
I should be more embarrassed than I am to admit how much I literally begged them to give me a PlayStation code instead of a PC code. And they're like, we're sorry, we gave you the PC. And I'm like, I know, but please.
But make it right.
I called somebody and I was like, please. I was like, I want to platinum this very bad. And they're like, we know, Tim. We know.
So but you don't understand.
But they do understand. And they just are like, oh, we're sorry we had you guys on the PC side. And I'm just like, I know, But anyway, so yeah, I'm now 20 hours into the PC one. I'm like, I don't know that I'm gonna wanna. I will probably.
Yeah,
you know?
I mean, you will.
No, but I do think, Greg was talking about this recently about like how he's given up the platinum race and all that, and he's fucking Greg now. And I'm just like, I think I might have to take the hit with this one. Not
Oh, I thought you were
just.
saying, I think I'm gonna have to take the crown. I thought you were gonna like take over.
No, God, no.
Oh.
And I only care about the games I care about.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I got my Tony Hawk 1 and 2 that I worked really hard for. I got my Astro, I got all the Insomniac.
You're not
games.
getting
Like,
platinums for ZJ the Ball?
I'm not. But I definitely should be
What about
platinuming this.
Nico Dorico?
That
I
platinum
will be
was bullshit.
saying that word for the rest of my life.
Dude, play the
Nico
game.
Dorico.
Play the game. It's the magical world. All this is to be said. The 1 and 2 platinum I was bitching about for a long time. Like the final trophy was bullshit, and it was a grind that was simply not fun, and you just had to play a lot to get to level 100. This game does not have levels anymore, which is great. The challenges in this one are a lot more clear and fun and worth doing. Like, I'm really, really satisfied with the amount of content and what they're asking and the challenge and all that stuff. Having said that, instead of tying it to the levels, there's one thing where they are now, it seems to me at least, I have a couple things I need to do first. I think you unlock solo tours after you do all the pro challenges, which allow you to then go back and beat the game as every single skater.
Oh my god.
And they're asking me to do that.
That's
oh
a
my
lot.
god.
And you know what? I'm not doing that. I'm not fucking doing that.
He's gonna do it.
He's gonna do it.
Well, I'm
gonna
not.
do
And
it.
especially now if it's I don't even have my PlayStation code. I don't know, guys.
He's gonna do it.
I had one more question, Tim, because you mentioned this prior to us even coming out here when I was kind of building the doc and asking questions. But you mentioned that Carnival and Chicago are not in 4.
Yes. So yeah, we have 2 levels missing from what was originally in Tony Hawk's 4. Carnival, which was a bonus level in 4, kind of regarded as one of the worst core Neversoft Tony Hawk levels ever.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not really sad that
Not
it's
missing
gone.
it?
No, it always felt undercooked, and it was a bonus level. So like a little weird it's not here, but just for sheer completionism, but like whatever. And then Chicago was Matt Hoffman 2 level that because it was done, they're just like, fucking it's here. It almost felt like a tease of like, there's other extreme sports games.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
Man.
The universe is expanding.
Yeah.
Dude, they had a demo for like some snowboarding game on 3 I remember playing.
Mhm.
Forget which snowboarding game it was.
I forget the guy's
Was it
name.
Shaun White?
I don't think it was. Was it?
It was after a person.
No, I feel like that
Yeah.
was before Shaun White got really big.
It was funny after a while looking back at these extreme sports games because they just put the athlete's name in the same oval that
Yep.
Tony Hawk's name was in.
Activision 02
Yeah,
was the brand.
Yeah, they were
And
doing. Yeah, it reminds me of like 989 Sports, where like
Yep.
they had all their sort of brands.
Tony Hawk 4 had Kelly Slater's Pro Surfer.
Oh shit!
Yep. And then, Tony Hawk 3 had some motherfuckers Pro Wakeboarding.
No way.
Swear to God.
Wait, Sean Palmer, I think, is the guy
Sean Palmer.
Donna Palmer.
for the snowboarding game. There's a Sean White and a having 2 snowboarding legends both named Sean with a U is kind of
Can't do that.
It's kind of wild that it happened twice. And then they
Yeah.
both got video games.
That's one of those like one of us is gonna have to change our dress.
Yeah,
right now.
that's crazy. I do have one more question of what's next because I don't want this to be the end for Tony Hawk games.
That is a excellent question. Look, there's a lot to be seen, right? Obviously, this franchise has had a tumultuous history, and I don't need to get into too many of the details here, but there was the classic games. It got annualized. It overstayed its welcome. Then it kind of came back. They got gimmicky. There was the ride and shred where you're actually standing on the board, and like, the franchise lost itself.
Yeah.
Then they started putting out Tony Hawk's Pro Skater HD, and then there's Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 5. Straight up cash grabs, horrible games. Robomotor was in charge of those. Like, that was straight up bad times to be a Tony Hawk fan, and it felt like there was no recovering. This is peak. This is as good as it's going to possibly get. So the question here is it possible for a new Tony Hawk to come out? And I think the answer absolutely is yes. The fact that this is on so many different systems, I think people are going to love this game. It's on Game Pass. I think this is going to do incredibly well. 1 and 2 did incredibly well. So I think that the chances of a new Tony Hawk are very high. The fact that this features 3 brand new levels and they're as good as they are, I think is very important to looking at the future of these games. I would not be surprised if we don't get the Thug 1 and 2 or even just Thug 1 remake, and instead they make a new Tony Hawk's Pro Skater.
Mhm.
But also, if they take on the challenge of a Thug remake, I think they'd pull it off. Like, I have full faith in Iron Galaxy based on what they did here specifically with the pinball, water park, and movie studio, which are the 3 new levels that are awesome.
Are those secret levels? Are 2 of them in 3 and 1 of them is in 4?
No, so what's interesting is they're not secret levels. They're just levels. Pinball, I guess, is the only secret level, and even that has goals. But they're set as Tony Hawk 4 levels.
Okay.
All 3 of them, and couple weird things. Kona, which was a full level with goals in Tony Hawk 4, that's a recreation of an actual skate park in Hawaii, which is super cool. But it also is a lot of people's one of their less favorite levels because it's so real and accurate to the real life location that it just like doesn't allow for like fun combos and stuff. So they turned that into a tournament level instead of a get the goals level.
Okay.
And they did the same to Zoo, which is kind of a letdown. And then Movie Studio is a tournament as well. Water Park and Pinball get full on all the different goals and the pro goals as well.
Very cool. Well, that's going to do it for us, everybody. I had a good time talking Hawk with y'all.
Talking Hawk, everyone.
Talking Hawk.
I hope you all enjoy Tony Hawk when it comes out tomorrow for early access, and then the 11th for everybody else. And this game is available freaking everywhere.
Freaking everywhere, man. Cross play, which is cool. I think it's going to have a much more vibrant online community than 1 and 2 had because of that. No cross progression, which is a bummer. I wish they'd figure that out.
Well, I'm rooting for you and Bless's Steam Cloud saves to get rocking.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah,
That'll be nice.
Because this game's really, really pretty. I was like kind of blown away by some of the visuals in some spots with lighting and everything. That's going to do it for us here on the Gamescast. Everybody, up next we have Jurassic World Rebirth in review, followed by Dune Awakening with me and Nick. We'll see you all next time. Take care of yourself. Take care of each other. Goodbye, gamers.